The year is 2025. A new trade war is brewing and Canada finds itself caught in the crossfire. This time the battle lines are drawn between two economic titans, China and the West. For Canada, the conflict is hitting close to home, particularly in the heartland of its agricultural industry. The current trade dispute began in late 2024. Canada, aligning itself with its Western allies, imposed tariffs on a range of Chinese goods. These included steel, aluminum, and electric vehicles. China, in a calculated act of retaliation, responded with forceful measures of its own. March 20th, 2025 marked a turning point. China slapped tariffs on over $2.6 billion worth of Canadian agricultural products. This targeted a wide swathe of exports including pork, oilseed cakes, and peas. The impact was immediate and sent shockwaves through the Canadian economy. This trade war is not merely about economic competition. It is about geopolitical power, strategic alliances, and the future of the global order. For Canada, navigating this complex landscape requires a delicate balancing act. The impact of the Chinese tariffs is being felt most acutely in the Canadian agricultural sector. Pork and canola, two of Canada's most important agricultural exports, have been directly targeted. The tariffs have created uncertainty and fear within these industries. Farmers already grappling with thin margins and rising input costs are now facing a significant drop in demand for their products. The Chinese market, once a lucrative destination for Canadian agricultural exports, has effectively dried up. This has led to a glut of supply, depressing prices, and threatening the livelihoods of farmers across the country. The Canadian government has announced a series of emergency measures to support the agricultural sector. These include financial aid packages, marketing initiatives, and efforts to diversify export markets. However, the effectiveness of these measures remains to be seen. The trade war with China has exposed the vulnerability of Canada's reliance on a limited number of export markets. It has also highlighted the need for greater diversification and resilience within the Canadian economy. The timing of the Chinese tariffs is no coincidence. With the Canadian federal election looming in October 2025, the tariffs are widely seen as an attempt to influence the outcome. China, some analysts believe, is hoping for a change in government. They seek a reset of trade relations, much like what occurred between China and Australia after a similar trade dispute. The incumbent government, under pressure from both farmers and industry groups, faces a difficult choice. They can stand firm against Chinese pressure, risking further economic retaliation. Alternatively, they can seek a compromise, potentially jeopardizing Canada's relationship with its Western allies. The opposition, sensing an opportunity, has seized upon the issue. They accuse the government of mismanaging the relationship with China and failing to protect Canadian interests. The trade war has become a central issue in the election campaign, dominating headlines and shaping public opinion. The outcome of the election will have significant implications for Canada's future. It will determine the direction of Canada's trade policy, its relationship with China, and its place in the world. The current trade tensions between Canada and China cannot be viewed in isolation. They are, in many ways, a legacy of the turbulent Trump years and the former president's penchant for protectionist trade policies. Trump's trade wars, particularly with China, upended global trade norms and created an atmosphere of uncertainty and distrust. While Trump is no longer in office, the impact of his policies continues to reverberate. The tariffs he imposed on Chinese goods remain largely in place, and the Biden administration has been slow to unwind them. This continued trade friction between the U.S. and China has created a volatile global trading environment, leaving countries like Canada caught in the crossfire. Furthermore, Trump's America First approach to trade undermined traditional alliances and emboldened other countries to pursue their own nationalist agendas. This has led to a fragmentation of the global trading system, making it more difficult to resolve trade disputes and enforce international trade rules. The current trade war with China serves as a stark reminder of the interconnected nature of the global economy and the lasting impact of protectionist trade policies. Section 5. Uncertainty south of the border. The trade war with China is not the only source of economic uncertainty for Canada. South of the border, the United States, Canada's largest trading partner, is grappling with its own set of challenges. These internal struggles have the potential to spill over and impact Canada's economy. The U.S. government is facing a looming fiscal crisis. A deeply divided Congress has been unable to agree on a budget, leading to fears of a government shutdown. This political gridlock is fueling uncertainty and undermining confidence in the U.S. economy. Adding to the uncertainty are concerns about the future of Social Security. The program, a cornerstone of the U.S. social safety net, is facing long-term funding challenges. Proposed reforms have sparked controversy and raised anxieties among retirees and those approaching retirement age. The economic and political instability in the United States has direct implications for Canada. A slowdown in the U.S. economy would inevitably impact Canadian exports and economic growth. Furthermore, the political polarization and dysfunction in Washington make it difficult to engage in constructive dialogue on issues of mutual interest, such as trade and border security. Section 6. The social safety net phrase. The echoes of Trump-era policies can be heard even in the realm of social programs. Elon Musk, the enigmatic entrepreneur, has taken on a new role heading the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Tasked with streamlining government operations, Musk's approach has been anything but subtle. Sweeping cuts to federal programs have become the hallmark of DOGE. While touted as efficiency measures, these cuts have drawn sharp criticism. Opponents argue that they disproportionately harm the most vulnerable segments of society. Labor unions in particular have voiced strong opposition to DOGE's access to Social Security data. Fears of data breaches and potential misuse have led to legal challenges aimed at curbing the department's reach. Adding fuel to the fire, Musk's controversial statements and online antics have made him a lightning rod for criticism, further politicizing the issue. The situation has become so fraught that Musk's image has been featured in Democratic campaign ads. These ads criticize the GOP's spending cuts, highlighting the potential impact on Social Security and other social safety net programs. Section 7. A ripple effect on Canadian soil. While DOGE's activities might seem like an internal U.S. matter, their impact extends beyond American borders. Canada, with its close economic and social ties to the U.S., feels the ripple effect of these policy decisions. One of the most direct impacts has been on environmental policy and research. DOGE mandated cuts to NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, have sent shockwaves through the scientific community. These cuts, totaling a staggering 1,000 jobs on top of previous reductions, have hampered NOAA's ability to monitor climate change, predict extreme weather events, and protect marine ecosystems. For Canada, which shares a vast border and important ecosystems with the U.S., this is a cause for concern. Reduced capacity at NOAA translates to less accurate weather forecasting and potentially less effective responses to natural disasters impacting both countries. Moreover, the cuts to NOAA also signal a broader shift in U.S. priorities away from environmental protection and scientific research. This shift has implications for Canada as it creates challenges for collaboration on shared environmental concerns and potentially undermines global efforts to address climate change. Section 8. Voices of Dissent. The tumultuous global landscape, marked by trade wars, political instability, and social program cuts, has not been met with silence. Across the globe, voices of dissent are growing louder, expressing anxieties and frustrations with the current state of affairs. Protests have erupted in various corners of the world, targeting symbols of power and those perceived as architects of the current crises. Trump's golf course in Scotland became a target for pro-Palestinian activists, highlighting the global reach of his legacy and the lingering resentment over his policies. In the United States, protests against Trump and Elon Musk have become a regular occurrence. Demonstrators are drawing attention to a range of issues, from economic inequality and social injustice to environmental degradation and the erosion of democratic norms. These protests, while diverse in their specific demands, reflect a growing sense of unease and a desire for change. The protests serve as a stark reminder that the decisions made by governments and powerful individuals have real-world consequences. They highlight the growing disconnect between the ruling class and the concerns of ordinary citizens. The question remains, will these voices of dissent be heard, or will they be drowned out by the noise of a world in turmoil? Section 9. Navigating the storm. The year 2025 has ushered in an era of uncertainty and volatility. Canada, like many other nations, finds itself navigating a complex and unpredictable global landscape. The trade war with China, the political turmoil in the United States, and the social unrest bubbling beneath the surface all present significant challenges. Yet amidst these challenges, there are also opportunities. The current crisis presents a chance for Canada to reassess its place in the world, strengthen its commitment to multilateralism, and diversify its economy. It is an opportunity to invest in its people, protect its environment, and build a more just and equitable society. The path forward will not be easy. It will require strong leadership, thoughtful policies, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. But by embracing its values, leveraging its strengths, and working collaboratively with its partners, Canada can weather the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. The choices made today will shape the Canada of tomorrow. The time for decisive action is now.